The primary task of the theory of cogitality is for each of us to actively discover for ourselves a practically sustainable program that truly suits our individual needs, to apply it in our daily lives, and only then decide whether to continue to pursue it or not. If we simply deny the things we don't like or that scare us, we will never truly test whether they might actually work for us. It is absolutely necessary to have chosen for ourselves in advance what we are striving for, whether that is freedom or security. Because usually, as holographic entities with limited knowledge, we instinctively seek security. A wise person once said that there are two doors in a person's life. On one is written security, and on the other freedom. If you choose the first option, you ultimately lose both. Security is merely an illusion that traps us in the paradoxes of our own rigid beliefs or the arbitrary meanings we have assigned to the world. These beliefs are filters for adaptation to the environment, but they do not provide security. That is why at some point we start using these filters for protection, rather than for adaptation to the respective reality. The only security that exists, however, is the fact that we are changing. It is a matter of desire and practice to tune ourselves to hear the messages that are constantly coming. This is related to direction, the desire for development and acceptance. Whether we will access all the information that is available depends on us. In this regard, when it comes to understanding and realizing one's own capabilities, a person often sets their own limits and barriers to them. After the activation of the pineal gland, for example, mind reading comes as a surprise, and the responsibility of knowing how and what others are thinking can even be frightening. Each element has its own individual development, and for everyone, acceptance happens in a different way. The easiest option is to trust the source, understanding that we are one and the same. Activating certain capabilities is truly a profound responsibility towards others, deeply connected with the sincere desire and dedication to pass this valuable information on to them as well. If we find that the task at hand is difficult, we often look for various ways to procrastinate, take a much-needed break, or perhaps even give up entirely. These mental filters help laziness to develop and perfect itself over time. Just like energy, our excuses are also activated in a unique, personal, and truly inimitable way. Whether we are healing, manifesting, or doing anything else, it depends on us and requires the necessary responsibility. And this experience is sometimes quite unpleasant and even a little startling for us. But if we really stop to think about it, the exact same thing is true for laziness. It's about having these wonderful opportunities that we simply don't use, often because we're just not in the right mood, or perhaps we've decided that we can afford to rest, or maybe even take a much-needed break. Things are much easier than they seem at first glance. Everything we believe in happens. Everything is mentality, and therefore the first step is to challenge ourselves to think outside the box. Many of us from an early age build defenses, filters, and grids towards information. In fact, such things are not necessary. Anyway, we are constantly receiving information from the source, primarily because we are, in essence, the source itself. The very fact that we dream and experience intuition means that this profound information is always available to us. However, because of the various defenses we build up over time, we often choose to ignore this information or, quite unfortunately, reject it completely. Everyone has the right to accept or not. There are no enlightened people. There are people who have worked hard and achieved what they wanted. There are no great masters. There is desire and dedication, patience, work, and unfolding towards the unknown known, everything that is.